insert from Childhood Shouldn't Be Like This, which is called Are You My Mom? It's a very interesting title, and I'm gonna make it make sense. Have you ever felt like you felt different or you felt like you didn't belong in a particular situation? That's how I kind of felt growing up, but I didn't understand why I felt that way. And when you're young, under the age of 10, you kind of just, things are supposed to be regular, or they're supposed to be how you feel that they should be. But I guess because I have this empathic thing with the energy and stuff like that, so I've always had that, and I've always felt like things weren't always how it was supposed to be, or how I pictured it to be, and I didn't kind of really, I couldn't place a finger on why it wasn't. So I'm going through childhood, doing things that children do, and different things like that. And my brother's 3 years younger than me. So for 3 years, I was the only child. So then 3 years in, I have a brother. I'm three. It's like, okay, who's this kid? Somebody please come get this kid or whatever. But that's my little bestie now. But then it wasn't that way. So years go by, and I'm living life as a child. None the wiser of anything that may be out of whack or not the way it's supposed to be. And then my father, he was in and out of my life due to his own personal reasons or whatever. So then he came to me, and it was like, this, woman you've known as your mom and stuff like that, that she's not your biological mother. I'm 9. What is a biological mother? What does that even mean for a 9-year-old? I'm confused. Though he goes, you have a biological mother, and I'm going to take you to meet her. So I wound up meeting this lady. She has multiple aliases, so as today I still don't know what her real birth name is. And I found out that my father met me at 2 months when she brought me to him, because I was born in Florida, because he was stationed there at whatever time frame that was. He was in the military. So then she brung him to me. I mean, she brung me to him, and apparently she disappeared after that. So, my brother's mother, who was my babysitter at the time frame, was taking care of me. Now, mind you, she's 13. 13 raising a 2-month-old, or caring for a 2-month-old. Back then, there was a lot going on within the world with drugs and different things like that. And at that time, you could date a younger female as long as you was taking care of her family and things of that nature. So that was pretty much okay. My father was literally 10 years older than her, and this was what was going on. So I'm being raised by a baby at this point. So then I meet this lady, different things like that, and then I'm 9. So it's like, oh, this is your mom, and she's like, why you don't call me mom? I'm like, in my head, I'm like, you didn't deserve, you didn't earn that. I don't know you. I don't know you. I know someone else to be my mom. And mind you, I look like this lady. Like, I guess they say if you feed somebody long enough, they'll look like you. So I look like this lady. So I want to say I met her in April of that year, and in May I turned 10, and in June she passed away. So if I was to ever get up enough courage to ask a question, a why or whatever, I wasn't given time. Time was not on my side. So it's just this woman passed. Found out she was sick with AIDS, not related to my father. Um, so I didn't know her. And then they were letting me go there for the weekend. It's like, how do you just send your child somewhere with a stranger for the weekend? Yes, she gave birth to me, but she's still, all in all, a stranger. So I want to say that started my abandonment issues. So if I didn't feel abandoned finding out that I had a biological mother, that she left me, then she left me for a second time by passing away. So I didn't get anything answered. I don't know her side of the family. I have no lineage of my mother. at all. So they tell you don't know where you're going if you don't know where you've been. And it's a lot. It's a big chunk of me I don't know because I don't know that side. Like how you don't know your maternal side of your family. Like your maternal is supposed to be evident. The father side, a little shaky, but that maternal side is supposed to be the big side. Apparently she was an immigrant. She didn't belong here, so she had aliases because she was an illegal immigrant. She's from Jamaica, and I guess you make up these different aliases so you could work. But no one thinks, hey, that this is gonna mess up a child. What I did find out is I had an older brother that she gave up for an adoption. So me learning this as a young age is like, how do you date knowing that there's somebody out there that you are related to that's older than you? So that was always a thing in the back of my head. But like that was the first thought of me being screwed up as a child. And these things affect you as an adult. We don't think that our childhood trauma affects us as an adult, but it does, because it gave me a sense of um I wasn't wanted as a child. Like as a baby, your mother left you. So then who am I? Who else is going to want me or stick around or be in my life long term if my own mother did not want to? So meeting my biological mother caused a big um issue in a relationship with my brother's mother. Now I'm 10. I didn't ask for this. I didn't I didn't tell myself. I didn't go seek out for this person, and she took it out on me like if it was my fault. That, oh, you met your mother and you love this person. Like I didn't even know her. I didn't love her. I didn't know what I knew or how I felt, and I didn't get the support that I should have had. I didn't get therapy, which I should have had from young, to deal with all these feelings and emotions that I had, and it didn't do me any justice as an adult, as a parent. I overly parent because I felt like I didn't have the proper parenting that I should have had. I didn't know what the proper parenting was, but I knew what I didn't want. So I made sure that my relationships with my children were over the top. But then also, as much as I love, I didn't show that love physically because that love wasn't shown to me physically. There was no hugs and kisses and all of that. So those things I had to like kind of train myself and push myself to know and whatever. And I kind of didn't really accept that from people either. It was like, because that wasn't the way I was shown love, or I didn't know that love was supposed to look like that. So we don't realize that we learn a lot of these things from our parents. And a lot of people blame their parents, but I'm like, if the parent wasn't parent properly, how are they able to parent properly? Now, me and my brother's mother are 13 years apart. She didn't know how to parent. She didn't even know how, she wasn't even a child. She just became a teenager. So I don't blame her for anything. I don't. Everything is learned behavior. You're a product of your environment. Everybody gets to make a choice. You get to the fork in the road and you decide, am I going to be a product of my environment, or am I going to do something different? You may not know what that different is, but you know what you don't want. And then you just kind of got to start from there. When I started my family and I got married, I didn't know what it was to be a wife and to keep a home and different things of that nature. But I had to know what I didn't want. And what I didn't want is what I saw growing up. So I had to go based on that. So it's a lot. That's a lot to have. Like the start of your life was a lie. The first 9 years of your life was literally a lie. Like these are things you hear like on Jerry Springer and stuff like that. Like, no, that was my actual life. That I didn't know my mom, and when I finally met her, I knew her all for a month and a half, and then it was taken away from me. So I felt like I never was able to regain that. Like I didn't have a real mom bond, because you have a mom bond with the person that you was in their womb for whatever time frame, and then you have that one-on-one connection, and I didn't have that. So I'm somebody in the world who was motherless from a long time ago. And it's not a good feeling to have, because that's why I'm real big on being a mom to my children, because I didn't have that. And people who have moms in their lives and they're like disrespectful or don't care, like, bro, Imagine not having that or not feeling that mom love. Like that mom love is unconditional. That is, it's different. So I'm really big on telling people, like, you only get one mom. You only get one mom. I have people in my life that are mom figures, and I love them so much for their roles that they played. But there's nothing like having that biological mom bond, pretty much. So I didn't know where this conversation was going, or how I was gonna go through with this. I'm like, I didn't need to give so many details to tell my story, but it was the first one, and I got it out. But I'm telling my story. It's my story to tell. No one else can tell it. I'm not telling the story to make anybody feel bad or anything. It's just, you never know who needs to hear it. You never know who needs to hear your story, and who feels like they're alone. You never know. Love and light.